Jesse, and then download it and then put up on YouTube?
Yep, Twitch-in is started.
Hot dog! Okay, we're just sending out all the deets and we're good to go then, right?
Yep.
Whoa.
Well, Twitch will automatically kick one out for us, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there it is, actually.
Let me tell you the joys of dealing with homeless-ish populations. Okay, we're good though. Things are good. I just got.
Are we? Okay.
I'm just looking. Okay, you sent one out to everything, right?
Twitter's covered. We should do Facebook. So let's grab our Twitch stream. Twitch TV.
I think we should try, and I'll try and do this too, but try and send out a little bit more, just like news stories and stuff, and post them, even though they may not be from us, even just for information.
Yeah, I agree.
Just to get engagement. So,
yeah, to those 250 followers we have now.
That's insane, dude. I was looking at it earlier today, and it was like, said something like, "Oh, you have a 17,000% increase."
Wow.
Yeah.
Something like that. I was like, "Wow, okay, that's nice."
Yeah, that's how we go. Come on.
That's how we do it.
That's
this
how we
is
roll,
how
yo.
we do it.
MNC.
That actually, it sounds really loud. Oh, no, it's loud. Okay, it works. All right, I'm good to go.
Okay, I'm just going to Facebook.
Tweet deets there.
Does YouTube have a rudimentary editor that lets me crop off so many, chunks from the front and the back of a video? I've never tried to use it before. Not Facebook.
Facebook or YouTube?
YouTube.
I think so.
Because I've never used it before, but I think I'm going to try it in this one because we've been streaming for almost 3 minutes and we haven't started the show yet because I thought we were ready to start.
Oh, my bad. That's always my bad. We're good. Okay, I'm good to go whenever you guys are.
We'll blame you. I like that. Agreed.
No, I could. Yeah, totally. I can deal with that. I deal with that on a regular basis.
Hold on a second, guys. Sorry, I had our Twitch stream open at the exact same time.
Oh.
So I was hearing everything going on.
Oh,
at the same
that
time.
is the worst feeling.
I was like, why is everyone talking?
Why is everyone talking at the same time, and some people
And then
are
I was
talking
like-
twice at once?
Because we are
Exactly.
talented.
What happened?
We have two
Right,
sets
so-
of vocal cords.
All right. Well, I'm okay. Facebook's now covered. Let me jump into the drive. I'm ready. Let's record. Count us in, Zach.
Oh, diggity. In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Nintendo Dad's episode 10. On tonight's episode, we unbundle this morning's Nintendo Direct. That includes more amiibos, lots of 3DS games, and a few Wii U surprises. Info on the new 3DS in North America. Plus, for our 10th episode, we have a giveaway prize. So stay tuned. Oh, and Zach, cue the music.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nintendo Dads Podcast, episode number 10 for January 14th, 2015. My name is Zach Erickson, and joining me tonight for this wonderful extravaganza of Nintendo Direct fun is Justin Masson. How you doing tonight, Justin?
Good. I love the term extravaganza.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be able to have that at Dairy Queen. I'll have your extravaganza, please.
Absolutely. And joining us tonight as well is Jesse Waldak.
I prefer mine in a dip cone.
Yeah.
Dip.
You know, I
Dip,
think you know
dip.
that.
No. Changed my mind. Dipped bowl. Those are awesome.
The bowl is also dipped. Now, do they dip the bowl in the ice cream at the same time? I feel like we need to flesh out the importance of this dish.
No, they dip the bowl first, then they put stuff on top.
Oh, I see. Perfect. All right. Well, tonight, gentlemen, of course, we had it. Now, for those of you who, it's funny we did this so quickly as soon as the Nintendo Direct was announced, and by the time we had it on the stream, most people were like, oh, they have a predictions episode, and you get to figure out if they were right as I listened to it. But anyways, it was actually a lot of fun. We'll probably be doing more of those Hangouts in the future. It was just done on Google Hangouts, so if you're noticing a difference in audio quality, that would be why. Thanks, Google. But it's just a really easy sort of way for us to get those things out to you guys as soon as possible. Tonight we are going to forego the usual Nintendo, or the usual what you've been playing, and we're going to go straight into the news. All right. Now, of course, everybody by now hopefully is aware of the fact that Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct this morning at 6 o'clock a.m.
They did?
Pacific time and 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. 7 of my time is when I woke up. I literally, kind of as I was getting ready with breakfast and whatnot, was watching this thing. And, man, first impressions, guys, a little bit more than we were expecting, I think, coming out of the gate. I think a lot of people going into Nintendo Directs kind of have, we've learned to manage our expectations. What were you...
Like the expectation of a 25-minute episode. And, wow! Yeah. They doubled it almost.
Yeah, usually it's like a 25, like you said, like 25 minutes-ish. We clocked in at like 48 minutes.
46 Direct. 46 minutes, I think they said.
Yeah, craziness. So just before we get into anything huge, what are your general sort of impressions overall with, did they meet expectation, yes or no, as far as what we were hoping for, and so on? What do you guys think just off the bat here? Justin?
Yeah, I think when you look at the fact that, this came out of the blue, I shouldn't say out of the blue, we heard some rumblings about it a couple days beforehand. I really think it did meet my expectations. As I mentioned in our predictions episode yesterday, I was
you can call it the predictions train if you want.
I know. This is going to be a bonanza-rama of prediction trains. I was excited to hear what they had, because I think, we talked about it at the end of 2014 about, I really want to know what Nintendo has in the pipe for 2015. They had a great year for 2014. How are they doing it? And I thought this was a timely Nintendo Direct to say, here's our lineup. We've built some excitement about some of our games, but let's tell you more. Plus the idea of that new 3DS sitting on the fringe of what that meant for North America and Europe. There had been some momentum. I thought they did a really great job on this, actually. So I thought it was great. 45 minutes of my time well used.
Awesome. How about you, Jesse?
I would say it's, for being a double-length episode, was overall about normal for me and how I experience Nintendo Directs. I'd say about half of it is meh, I don't care, get on with the next topic, and the other half is yes, I want it now, here's my wallet. And I'd say it's still an even 50-50 split. They just gave me twice as much of what I like and twice as much of what I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a pretty valid sort of statement. There's just a ton of information, ton of games coming. Looking at my list here and remembering that nothing that they, other than maybe one game that I'm looking at on this list, maybe two, these are all things that are going to be released mostly by the end of March, and then maybe a handful that are going to be by the end of May.
Yeah,
and other than that,
I think everything mentioned will be pre-E3.
Well, I think there's a couple. I think Xenoblade, Fire Emblem. We'll get into those a little bit more.
Right. Well,
maybe Ironfall. Sorry. Yeah, but yeah. But for the most part, I mean, most of it is.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So let's get started. Let's just go through it exactly the way that they did. We'll go point for point and give a little bit of information on each one and just kind of give our overall impressions for each one. We figure this is going to be most of the episode, but we want to give as much sort of in-depth commentary and content on that as well as we talk about it. So First off,
while we're talking about it, I'm going to bring up my notes from my live blog this morning and see if I can remember what I said.
Very cool. All right, so first on the list is what I initially thought was like, oh man, they're actually going to talk about Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem.
I thought the exact same thing.
I was like, finally, we're going to hear about it. And instead what we get is another 3DS Fire Emblem title, which I think they called these working titles for Nintendo. Sometimes the title cards just crack me up. I think is the latest game in the Fire Emblem series. And it seemed they had made a title card for it as if it was some sort of official title. But yeah, Fire Emblem, basically, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Fire Emblem series, the only thing that really carries on continuity-wise, for the most part, is usually just the series and the game mechanics, but the actual characters don't usually transfer from game to game, or they don't continue on. So this is a totally new cast of characters, totally new story. The creators are the same as the previous game. However, I'm not familiar with the name, but a comic book writer who's coming up with the sort of story and scenario for this particular game as well. So, and most importantly, for those of you who played Fire Emblem Awakening, the trailer does definitely show two things. Number one, the pairing mechanic that was really awesome in Fire Emblem Awakening is coming back. I noticed a shot of that in the trailer. And also, a new feature that was not in Fire Emblem Awakening, feet for the characters. So that's huge.
Ooh. Yay, anatomy!
Feet.
Jesse, did you play? I know, Justin, you probably didn't play Fire Emblem Awakening, but Jesse, did you play any of it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, no, the art style for Fire Emblem Awakening, it was just the art style that they chose. All of the people had, like, really... It was like they just didn't put feet on any of the models. It was just an art choice, but that is not the case in the new one. So, other than that, the art style is actually pretty similar. But
using the power of the new 3DS.
Absolutely.
We now have feet.
Yes. Hopefully not a system exclusive feature, but
Probably
what do you
not.
guys think what do you guys think about this announcement so far? Does it look good to you?
Yeah, I mean, I thought them starting off with that kind of mini trailer. I thought it was great. Graphics look really good. I've never played any of the Fire Emblem series on any platform, so I'm not super vested in it. But I thought it looked all right. Jesse,
the beginning of that trailer was weird because
it was really weird.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was looking at first, and then it panned out to a picture, and then it panned out to that dancing girl with a completely different art style. Like, what?
Yeah, the art style was even different. I think it definitely looks good.
It looked pretty.
If I had to guess, I'm going to say that this is probably going to be. I wouldn't be surprised if this came out late this year, early next year, maybe fall or winter-ish. I would say. So, as far as how far along it looks, and stuff like that, I would say we'll probably hear a lot more about this one at E3.
He mentioned he's never played any Fire Emblem game. I will say that I tried playing the free one we got from Ambassador Program, the GBA version. I think I got to Chapter 5, and I just couldn't beat it without losing people. And I said, "Oh, screw it! This is pissing me off."
Oh, dude, I've played the first one that came to North America. The thing about Fire Emblem is that if you've played one in the series but you have not played Fire Emblem Awakening, you should definitely give it a shot because they made so many strides as far as making it more accessible.
Yeah, and I know there's the easy mode where characters that die aren't dead.
Yeah, the casual mode, and that's how I played through Awakening, honestly.
And if I ever play it, that's how I'm playing it, because I'm not going to stress out on it. That way, I know if I lose a one or two, I'm not going to start over. I'll just keep going.
Mm-hmm. As far as additional features, apparently there's going to be a lot more. They're doing branching conversation trees and being able to choose what you say to different characters, which is fairly new to the series, from what I can tell. At least from what I remember, that's really new. And just being able to make more choices within the game that will affect the story and affect the world. So that should be really fun. I'm actually really looking forward to that game. I'm a huge fan. Justin, did you play Advance Wars? Have you played that at all?
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay,
I haven't
that's
touched
cool.
any of the series. So, although I did find it kind of interesting, through the entire tone of the Nintendo Direct, Fire Emblem in various ways was sprinkled through this Direct, and made reference to it. So I thought that was quite interesting. And I think it'll be interesting to, by the end of I think I texted you. I think by the end of it, I was like, I want a Fire Emblem amiibo now.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know the characters, but I want the guy with the axe.
You want all of them.
So I think we yeah.
All
so we
four.
see that usage of that property a lot more. So I think that's interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm still wondering what's going on with Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, which will be another game I won't get, but still, I want to know what's about it.
Dude, I went back actually because I was thinking about that, and I went back and looked for that trailer. We have not heard a single thing about that game since it was announced. That was 2 years ago. That's crazy.
And then last year they even hinted on it because they had a cross promotion with the Fire Emblem game, and
that was in 2013, right?
That was 2013. It was 2 years ago. Yeah, I remember I was on vacation when Shin Megami Tensei 4 came out, and when I did the pre-order on Amazon and have it shipped to my wife's aunt's house where we were staying.
Nice.
And
very cool.
I only got about maybe 3 hours into it because it was weird.
Yeah.
I don't like talking to the demons. I didn't like that in Persona 2.
Yeah, I didn't really like that game either.
I didn't like that in Persona 2, and I didn't like it here either.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Fire Emblem. We will be hearing more about that, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So there is also, I don't know if Advance Wars is definitely on the Wii U Virtual Console right now. So next up on the list, we have Puzzle and Dragons Z, as well as Puzzle and Dragons Z Super Mario Brothers Edition, both coming in May, and I think that is. Have either of you now? Puzzle and Dragons is available on the App Store. I know that on iOS, and I believe it's free to play. It looks like this is a lot more fleshed out, but I mean, it looks fun. It is a fun game. I actually really enjoyed it when I played it. Although the free to play elements of it kind of drove me nuts. It would be nice to be able to play all the way through it. Does this draw any sort of interest? Like, what do you guys think about this game?
No.
Yeah, so we saw this announcement come out of Japan about last week. It was last week.
It was last week, yeah.
Because I put in our show notes for this. Yeah. So I put in our show notes for this week to talk about, and stock did jump incredibly high after that. So I decided to try and download it to give it a go. So I actually did download it on my iPhone to try it out. And I'm not one of those kind of, I'm going to use the term Candy Crush or whatever kind of, make block numbers game people. But I downloaded it because gave it a shot. I actually thought it was kind of fun. It wasn't too bad. I don't know whether I'd say I'd want to pick it up for a DS to play with, but I think the great part about it is it looks again like that. Hey, I'm waiting in line at the bank for 5 minutes. I can pull out my DS. I can play a short game of something, complete a mini level, and move forward with it. I thought it was really, I think the biggest part about this whole Puzzle and Dragons collaboration with Nintendo is that we're seeing Nintendo move its licensed properties allow developers to use their licensed properties in different ways. And I think that's really, why the stock took a shot up. But I think that's the interesting part here is Nintendo's. They talked about it earlier about just saying like, hey, feel free to use our IPs in different ways if it makes sense. I think this is a great example of it. I wish they actually moved this to being on a smartphone as well. I don't think I'd pay $40 for the Puzzle and Dragons and Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Edition together. I don't think that cranks my tractor, but I don't know. Jesse, what are your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, I also played the iOS version.
About cranking my tractor?
No, I don't. I'm not interested in that. But I did try the iOS version of Puzzle and Dragon, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and didn't like it. Didn't care for it, and. I'm going to pass on this one, but one thing to note, when they started talking about Puzzle and Dragons Z, I typed in the live blog, Puzzle and Dragons Z, I was expecting the Mario one that they announced the other day, and then like 10 seconds later, and there's Mario. So
yeah, I think the only thing for me, I'm kind of with you guys, especially the whole like package deal, I'm not necessarily interested in that. you may get my attention if we see a sort of, if they split these apart on the eShop and sell them separately.
Like,
and then I may pick
like
up the
what they did with
Mario one as
Bayonetta?
a sort of, if it was like a $20 purchase on the eShop or something. Yeah, Bayonetta, I think they ramped up the price, and then if you wanted to buy the second one, then the second one was discounted.
Well, it worked either way. With Bayonetta, they were marked at $50 and $30, but you buy one and the other one instantly goes down $20. So you pay 30 and 30, or you pay 50 and 10 if you want both. But if you only want one, you can pick and choose.
Right. So basically, what I'm saying though is like, if it's going to be literally half the price, if it's going to be $20, I may buy the Puzzle and Dragons one. Like that seems like a decent price, maybe 15 or 20 or whatever. But I don't think it's if they do the whole thing where it's like, oh, buy the first one for 30 and buy the second one for 10.
I hope they don't do that. If they do it, split it digitally, I think it'll be 2020.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And then I might be a little bit interested. I don't need two games that are the same game in different flavors.
If they do that, I might get the Mario one as well, just because it is cheaper and it's Mario. But if not, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
I think this would be, this Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Edition would be a very interesting kind of slight dip of the toe into apps, Nintendo apps, or on the App Store, because I think could you imagine them putting out or the publisher putting out a Puzzle and Dragons Super Mario Edition on the App Store for like $3 or $2? How quickly that would sell?
Oh, it'd go crazy.
Yeah, it go crazy, and Nintendo at that point is not really having to take a risk because it's essentially a skin on the Puzzle and Dragons frame, right? But I think that would be a very interesting approach for them to do. They're not going to do that, obviously, because they're going to undercut their own sales. But I think that this could have been an opportunity for them to enter that market.
Yeah, totally.
One thing I noticed, and they used a term, and I don't think I've ever heard them use it before. They called it Mario and his friends and Bowser's buddies. I'm like, what? I've never heard that
Bowser's
term before.
Buddies.
Didn't they use that?
He's been neutered.
Yeah.
I want to get a T-shirt that says "I'm part of Bowser's Buddies."
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, design that shirt and put it on the Nintendo Dad's shop. There you go.
Where you can pick up all your Nintendo Dad's paraphernalia.
You heard it here first.
But it was interesting how they transitioned. Yeah, they transitioned from this right into Pokemon Shuffle.
Well, before we get there,
and
before we get,
thought, I'm not a huge Pokemon Shuffle.
Say before we get there.
Oh, sorry,
Jesse, go ahead.
before we go.
The Puzzle and Dragon, May 2015. In
Yes.
That's right.
My guess is it's good. Yeah, my guess is it's going to relaunch the same day as Splatoon.
Yeah, and then
I
put it in the live blog. I try to put the release dates in the live blog as much as I can. That's why I'm referencing it. And I put in there.
Okay.
I don't know if it's all in one cart or if it's two carts in one box, but either way, it's one box.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I would imagine it's probably two on one cart.
Probably. I can't admit that game cannot be big. So sure.
Yeah, but like you were saying, Justin, they led right into Pokemon Shuffle. This is going to be a free-to-play game, and it made me chuckle. I mean, I don't mean to make fun of Mr. Iwata very often, but it made me laugh. He's like, you start with 5 hertz. I'm like,
yeah, I think it's funny he had to explain the lives aspect of a free-to-play game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think there is some value to explaining, yes, this is what you expect it to be. But
I would think
it's very much a sort of smartphone game on yes.
I would think 95% of the audience has played Candy Crush and knows how it works.
Yeah. Now, what is...
That's exactly it, right? As he was describing it, I was like, so this is Candy Crush for Nintendo with a Pokemon skin.
Yes, pretty basically.
And it was funny.
I think so, but it also looks like, I think it was last year that Pokemon Trozei, I think is what it was called, on 3DS. Did you play that, Jesse?
No.
It looks very similar. I played that one and I actually wasn't super impressed with it. Mainly because usually that sort of game is really relaxed and kind of laid back, and they added this weird sort of battle mechanic that made it feel like you were constantly stressed out and rushed because you needed to beat the Pokemon that you were battling against in each stage, and so it almost made it more stressful than enjoyable. I ended up not really liking it that much for that reason. But this being a free-to-play game, I mean, we'll all probably try it out. But I don't know. I'm not super excited by it. So
Yeah,
anyway.
I didn't touch the Sub Wars free-to-play game, so I probably will try this, but I probably won't enjoy it. What?
I'll try it, but I won't like it very much.
There's the user box quote, and
I'll eat the broccoli, but I'm not
Let's
gonna
slap
like
that one
it.
on the box.
launch, launches in February.
They just said February. They didn't give a date, right?
Right.
And that's eShop only, obviously, because they're not giving away free cards. Next on the list, they moved over to Wii U. And
Or did they?
the first...
Oh, segue.
Yeah, so we're going to the Wii, and basically what we have is virtual console games for the Wii U, for Wii games. And they announced 3 games. One of them is out today. I don't know if any of you guys picked this up. I already own this game, so I didn't get it. But Super Mario Galaxy 2, Punch-Out coming next week, and the week after that, Metroid Prime Trilogy. These games are $20 regularly, but if you buy them in the first week, they're only 10. Or I guess in Canada, it's 22 and 11. But so yeah, on the 29th, guys, Metroid Prime Trilogy, 3 full Metroid Prime games for $10. That's craziness.
And I did pick up
Yeah.
Galaxy 2, even though I already owned it, but just the fact that I can play it whenever I want without knowing, because I literally have no idea where the disc is. It's 'cause I have it. I have my Wii modded. I've mentioned this before, so I have the game installed on the hard drive, so I can still play it there whenever I want without the disc. So I have no idea where the disc is, but I have it somewhere in my closet. But like at least now I can play it on the Wii U if I want it as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I picked that up easy.
Very cool.
The other 2, I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm not sure about them yet.
Yeah, you know what though, man? If you have any consideration for Metroid Prime Trilogy, literally all 3 of those games on one for $10 is like, that is a huge steal. So,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say, Justin?
Yeah, I thought this was a really interesting move by Nintendo. You know, they had talked about bringing N64 games to the eShop soon. I think I'd always heard rumblings about GameCube, but they made that kind of big jump and went right into the Wii games brought over. And I thought they did a really good job in selecting games that came over that would be very interesting for you to play. And I think something like Galaxy, you know, it's a high praised game, got great ratings. It's a beautifully colored game. It's a lot of fun, easy to use. So that they did a good job, especially in picking a game like that. I would agree with you, Zach.
That and all the main
the Metroid-
characters in the 3 games are also characters in Smash, which is
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
exactly.
not.
That's a great tie-in as well.
It's
Jesse.
not an accident that they picked these 3 games.
No. And I would agree, you know, out of all of them, I already have Galaxy 2. I haven't played Punch-Out, but I'm not a huge fan of the Punch-Out series. But Metroid Prime Trilogy, 3 games for $10. Yeah, if you're a Metroid fan in any context, this is definitely for you. And I love the fact that for the first week it's half price. For those who missed some of the Wii catalog, this is a great opportunity to pick some of those games that you did not pick up originally. You didn't pick up Skyward Sword. Right now, I'm not in a hurry to go out to spend $50 at GameStop to get it. But if it launches on this platform for $10, yeah, I'll absolutely pick up Skyward Sword for $10. So I'm interested to see what else they roll out.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that every single one of the Wii U games or the Wii games that are launched on the Virtual Console are necessarily going to be $10, at launch for the first week. I think that these first 3 are the only ones that we should reasonably expect that are going to be half price.
I'd agree.
But I think it's mostly like I think we saw a similar thing when they announced when they released the Virtual Console on Wii U a while. I think it was also sort of a reward to the early adopters for people who were getting them for 30 cents each. When was that? For like 6 months or something like that? They did one a month.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
Right, and so
Super
I see
Metroid
this
is the
as
best deal ever for 30 cents.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's no balloon fight, but
But what is?
But what is?
Balloon fight.
But yeah, it's I think that this is a good way to drum up sort of publicity and interest in people buying Wii games, and then we'll go from there, I think. But I hope that they keep them coming. Like, there's tons of Wii games that I would like to download if they're made available. So
yeah, I didn't play it yet, but I did launch it just to see what it looked like, and I was surprised what it actually does. Okay, when I got my Wii U, I did a Wii system transfer, so all my Wii save states got transferred over to the Wii U. So if I go in the Wii mode, put the disc in, I can continue my games. Now, when I select the game from the Wii U menu, it actually goes into Wii mode to play the game. So the save state that I have, the save state that I have on the system picked right up. So
wow!
So I have a save state with 120 stars without playing the game.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So it actually is basically just telling the Wii, it's basically running that file or that game in Wii mode. Oh, that's super cool. So then I'll actually be able to, because that's awesome.
So just like normal Wii mode, you cannot use the gamepad as a controller, but you can use it as your display and your sensor bar. And
apparently they did say that that you will be able to use your gamepad if it supports the classic controller, you will be able to use the gamepad.
Oh, they did say that
as a classic controller. So
that'll
the three games that are currently announced, I don't know if any of those use the classic controller. I actually looked it up for Metroid Prime because I was like, oh man, if that supported the classic controller, then playing that thing on the gamepad would be great. But it never did support the classic controller.
Punch-Out might, maybe, but I doubt it.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? Having played Metroid Prime 3, the motion controls with the pointer, once you get used to those are way better than using that.
Yeah, those are pretty sick
sort of controls. So.
Yeah, that Metroid one I'm still on the fence on, just because I bought it when it launched. In fact, I know where the metal case is, and I just don't know where the disc is. But the collector in me says, the stuff is expensive now. I should get it in as many ways as I can, and for $10 I might. If it was $20 full price, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it for sure. But for $10, I might still grab it, even though I'm not going to play it. It's still just something. I know the collector in me says, you buy this anyway.
Are you listening, Nintendo? All games should be $10 on the eShop, and then we will buy them all.
Right.
Okay. We're like 25 minutes in, and we're like 10 minutes into the direct, so we're going to be here all night if we don't speed things up.
We're going to make some large or some large sweeping statements the next little bit as we transition into Amiibos, which is really what we had predicted on our session yesterday, that they would be talking about Amiibos, but we got Amiibo news about Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one looks like it's, I don't know, it looks similar functionality, not quite as exciting to Hyrule Warriors, where you're unlocking bonuses and stuff like that. Nothing too super exciting there.
It just gave your characters a little bit of extra ability, right? So we saw if you had the Meta Knight, you were able to go faster by 25%. If you had the King DD, you were able to
more health,
like 6 hearts instead of 4.
6 hearts, yeah.
Yeah, and then the Kirby one is use the special ability without having to collect a bunch of stars. So, I don't know. I mean, like, it's nice to have there if you want to. If you have an Amiibo, then it's adding value to the figure, but it's not like you're gonna.
And I think he said he can only do it once per day.
Yeah, it's once per day. So that's the same as Hyrule Warriors as well, where it's just a once per day deal. They then moved into the Spring Amiibo, which is 6 more were announced. They reminded us that there were some coming in February. 6 more Smash Brothers ones were announced for Spring, which I'm guessing is April or May. And what did we get? We got the ones that were important to me. We got 2 new Fire Emblem ones, which we'll talk about later why that's important.
So looking at the list we got, and I'm actually on the Nintendo Amiibo site right now, you got Robin, Lucaria, Charizard, Wario, Pac-Man, and Ness.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
And Lucina, is that what you said?
Lucina, sorry, I think I called it Lucaria. Yeah, Lucina.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool, yeah.
I couldn't type that fast during the live blog, so I typed Ness, Pac-Man, Charizard, and more.
Yeah. Yeah, and at that point we didn't realize that we wanted the Fire Emblem ones as bad as we do, but we do.
Yeah. Now, out of this lineup, I know, Jesse, you're not an Amiibo fella at this point. You have not found Zach and I's crazy scratch addiction that we have. Is there any Amiibos on this list that make you say, yeah, maybe I'll pick that one up?
No, not really. Though I did say pre-order. I said in the live blog, pre-order now. They're hard to find.
Yeah. Zach, how about you? Anything on here? I know you're a Pokemon fan. I know your son is as well. Right? Is that Charizard looking
Charizard
pretty?
one is possible. Maybe I'm a huge NES player, so I've been waiting for the NES one to be announced. And I'll probably pick up the Robin one. So if I have to pick Ness and Robin, maybe, and maybe Charizard as well. So those three, I think, are kind of where I'm looking. Although I'm also looking to scale back my current pre-orders for Wave 3. I could probably only get 1 or 2 instead of the current 4 that I have pre-ordered. Because, again, just, for the sake of self-control and the wallet and so forth. So, I don't know. How about you, Justin?
For me, the Pac-Man one I thought looked really cool. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, the Pac-Man one.
That one might be in my list, but they did a great job of transitioning from those amiibos into Super Mario Brother amiibos, which is kind of their next line of amiibos that they're launching out. And in that lineup, in that launch line, they announced Mario, Peach, Toad, Luigi, Yoshi, and Bowser. So again, we have some familiar names from our Smash Brothers lineup as well, and actually very familiar design even for the Bowser. So that's their next lineup that they're going to be using for the Amiibo. And that really tied them actually right into Mario Party 10, which is how they're saying these Amiibos are going to be used in the next Mario Party. And this became I had some interesting thoughts about this because they talked about the read and write data on the Amiibos. So for those of you that recall, if you have an Amiibo, and they can only really work save data onto one game specifically. So we actually saw them and say that if you have, for example, a Smash Brothers Amiibo that can be played, so Mario can be played in Mario Party, so your Super Smash Brothers Amiibo Mario can be played in Mario Party, you would have to erase your Super Smash Brothers data to write onto that Amiibo for Mario Party 10.
Right, yeah.
That felt a bit painful, because then it felt like now I'm having to definitely buy more Amiibo to play a game, sort of ish. Because if I play the game, it's unlock the Amiibo section of that game. Yeah,
I think so too. And I mean, this basically confirms, we've kind of heard this a little bit before, that this is how this was going to work. We have a little bit, we're basically the Smash Brothers Mario and the Super Mario, that they are basically identical under the hood, and that's basically just how they're going to work. Is they have enough information for one game.
Yeah, so they've mentioned it before. They just never had a second game that it needed to worry about yet, because all of the other games are just read only, and it doesn't affect it.
Yeah, this is the only other game that's been detailed that has write data or write capability as well as read capability. So.
Now, the interesting part is, again, I'm on Nintendo's Amiibo website right now. They actually have a compatibility chart. And for Mario Party 10, every single Amiibo that they have put out on their lineup has either read-write kind of check-marked off or read-only, which read-only means you get additional content within your game with a compatible Amiibo. And they're saying that Mario Party 10, every single Amiibo out there has the potential of being a read-only, where you get additional content, and then there are a select few which are read-write, and those are the Super Mario lineup I just mentioned. Plus, from the Smash lineup, we have Mario, Donkey Kong, Peach, Yoshi, Luigi, Bowser, Rosalina, and I believe that is it. So kind of like your main Mario characters.
I wouldn't be surprised if later this year we see Rosalina, Donkey Kong as well for the Super Mario one, and Wario. I wouldn't be surprised if we see those. In fact, if you pay attention in the trailer and the footage, they showed what is most likely the Rosalina and the Donkey Kong amiibos. I wouldn't be surprised if those show up. Although I kind of question the motivation, not questioning the motivation, but question the sort of idea of why it's a good idea to release two of the same character when you can just as easily manufacture just lots of the current one. Other than maybe the fact that kids.
And I wasn't really super.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, and I wasn't. I don't know about you guys. I wasn't super impressed with any of the actual character builds or designs on the Super Mario like lineup when they announced them. None of them. I was like, oh, that looks really good, right? I want to pick that up because it looks awesome. They're like pretty. I don't know.
They're very clearly designed as a toy first, which is good. You know, like as opposed to the Smash Brothers ones, where it's like, wow, look at all these weird plastic supports we have to put in. You don't see those on any of the Mario on the new ones. So I think that's a good thing, and that is probably what we'll see moving forward. But it does. You're right. They're nowhere near as exciting poses or anything like that. The only one that I would even consider getting is the Toad one, and then all the other ones I'd way rather just have the Smash Brothers one instead. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually what I'm doing. The other one I'm going to get from that lineup is going to be Toad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you're wanting the Toad one, you better pick it up because that's probably going to be the hard one to find.
Which segues into the next segment.
It's definitely going to be in the. Exactly, which is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Justin, you were saying you were a little bit disappointed about this functionality.
I even suspect Bill Trennan was disappointed by this functionality. Just judging by his kind of like micro expressions, that he was like, and you get to do hide and seek with a pixel Toad.
Yeah.
Moving on.
The funny thing is that it didn't even they didn't even show it. Like they didn't even show, like you literally just now you can see it. Like, do you tap on it on the gamepad and then it appears or something?
I think it's like the 8-bit Luigi's they had in New Super Mario U or something.
Right, but I never played that. Did they actually have?
They had a Luigi somewhere in every level.
Yeah. Yeah, this felt like a, I think where some of you see like Kirby, like it felt like they had a little bit of a fleshed out amiibo plan, obviously for Smash Brothers and for Mario Party. Definitely felt like they have a fleshed out plan. This felt like somebody said we're actually doing this. Oh, we really have to do this. And it felt like it was kind of pushed in. So for those of you that don't really know, if you use the Toad amiibo on Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, then basically what happens is that in every single level there'll be an 8-bit Toad image implanted somewhere in the level that you have to locate, I guess. And I don't know if you find it and it just unlocks something different, or it's just like, hey, there it is, and that's it. So even it's interestingly enough, the timestamp of this, they took a total of 33 seconds to discuss this,
which includes when it is going to arrive and all the lead in and
In comparison, Mario Party 10 had a minute 52.
Yeah, for sure. So
and that patch will be coming in March along with
March 20th, the same date as Mario Party 10.
Yeah, March 20th. So I think it will be a big day for Mario Party. I know this at my household. We love Mario Party. We've already put a pre-order on Mario Party 10. It's just kind of a fun family game. Again, if you look at the kids aspect, it's a really easy game for kids to get into. Mm-hmm. We've had every single Mario Party that came out on the Wii, and we're going to add them on the Wii U because it's fun, it's easy, accessible. I think especially if the kids can use their amiibos and touch the screen or touch the gamepad and have their characters introduced and it can be their own amiibos, I think it's going to add a lot of fun for the family kind of couch co-op playing situation. So more to report on that in March for me.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that. If that's something that turns out to be really fun, that sounds really fun and exciting. So,
speaking of fun and exciting,
moving on to Splatoon. Splatoon, man.
Segues everywhere for everyone. That was lousy.
You get a segue, and you get a seg.
Yes, that's what I was implying, but I blew up all over it.
So Splatoon is looking, man, every time we see it, it looks better and better. This time they detailed the sort of hub world that we're looking at here, where we're going to have basically, sort of it kind of reminds me of Nintendo Land, frankly, with the sort of hub world that
It
they
does.
have there. And so basically what we're going to have is you can go to the different buildings for different modes, and they basically outlined a loot system where you have your gear. So you have your equipment, you have hats, outfits, and shoes, and you can kind of, for the weapons, if I remember correctly, you have a main weapon, a sub weapon, and then like a special weapon. So like the main weapon is just your regular gun. A sub would be something that is more strategic value, like they showed maybe a sort of a grenade or a sort of barrier that you can put up or something like that. And then the special weapon is your sort of super weapon that is on a cooldown or something like that you could use to take out a bunch of enemies at once or something like that. So, and then the gear apparently as well has stats for speed and strength and stuff like that. So, although they also said, but some people will respond to it differently, and so you can just do whatever looks cool too if that's what you want. So, I don't know. What do you guys think with this information coming out? A lot of people I saw on Twitter were comparing it to Destiny, which I thought was really funny. Like comparing Splatoon and Destiny seems really weird, but at the same time, the gear and the loot and all that kind of stuff does actually seem pretty similar. So, what do you guys think? What are you guys getting more excited about this game? More interested? Less?
Jesse, why don't you go first in this one, sir?
I'm kind of unchanged. I'm kind of still on the fence. I think it's one of those games I'm going to get anyway, but I'm not sure if I'll enjoy it, but I think my kids might.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Justin?
Yeah, I think this is one, and I know that Zach, you have lived on the Splatoon hype train since we've talked about this, and this is one that I was kind of questioning your sanity about. But the more and more that I've seen this content, I actually get fairly excited for it. So I'm not like this. This for me is not like, yes, it's Splatoon, or yes, it's Mario Kart or Zelda. But it's starting to bubble in me a little bit, much like the Smash Brother kind of hype train I got on several months ago. So I am actually excited to see this come out. And we talk about again the kid aspect and the family aspect. This looks like a great game for kids. Brilliant, beautiful colors, right? Lots of vibrant ability. In fact, you can customize, hey, they're going to wear this hat or this shoes or this outfit. And these guns, the weapons they use are both a weapon, but also they don't look like weapons. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very friendly. If friendly weapon is a term I can use, right? They look like a super
paint roller.
Yeah, like a super soaker kind of thing.
Yeah, totally.
So I think that's going to be a really fun, and if you can balance the game with like co-op and how you play even locally, like couch play, I think this could be a really fun game to pick up. So I'm gonna actually put this down on my list of games. Great. I thought this was really interesting. This actually slipped into, or they announced this is going to be in their May of 2015 lineup. So, we talked about in the 2015 predictions that this is probably where Splatoon is going to arrive, in the same bracket that we saw Mario Kart 8 in 2014 sit into. So right before the E3 showing, if they hold true to their dates. I thought that was a great position for this to be in. And I suspect that we're going to see lots of hype about it and lots of playing of it at E3 as well.
Oh, totally. Yeah. This is they're definitely relying on this one. This is their big title for the first half of the year. It's interesting that we still didn't hear anything about. This isn't something that is on the list, but something that wasn't on the list was we didn't hear anything about Yoshi's Woolly World. We didn't hear anything about Mario Maker. Two games that I was expecting
that
to hear
surprised
about.
me.
And I'm guessing that those are probably pushed to the second half, unless maybe June. But that was kind of surprising that we didn't hear from at least one of those two.
Maybe Mario Maker may get another Nintendo Direct, and then they'll say, "Oh, and by the way, it's out now." But other than that, probably it sounds like it might be a Q3 game now.
Yeah, and I mean the only chance we're going to see that is if it's on the eShop, though.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because I think when you look at the lineup that they've rolled out for the next 3 months, we're going all the way to at least the end of March. They've announced these games, so you've got April, and you're hitting into May with Splatoon. So it does feel like those have been pushed out to a Q3, and it'd be interesting to see what kind of spots those take in the lineup. So very interesting. We didn't hear about that.
Looking at this list, though, Wii U still is looking kind of barren between now and Splatoon other than Kirby. So, yeah, again, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a little bit, there's a ton coming out for 3DS, which is a huge surprise considering how little there has been recently. But, yeah, anyway, that's kind of a little bit of a detraction there. Moving on to Hyrule Warriors DLC in celebration of Majora's Mask.
And,
man,
oh my god. Wow.
This looks great. Like,
it looks horrible.
Are you kidding me?
It looks awful.
If there was any,
and I say that in the best possible way.
Okay, good. Because if there is the other expansion or the other DLC packs for Hyrule Warriors, I wasn't really that interested in. But like,
oh, that spinner was awesome, and you know
for
it.
Nothing but Tingle and young Link with the Fierce Deity mask. Both of those characters look great. Yeah, that looked really fun. The sort of thing where you're just, it's not taking itself seriously. It's not scared to just do the fun, crazy, exciting thing. I mean, we saw a similar thing with Link's Postman outfit, right? Where the DLC is there to bring in the crazy. It looks really fun.
And succeeds.
So, yeah, next after that, Xenoblade Chronicles X. Now, this is something, and maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I am having a really hard time getting excited about this game. I'm just not excited about it. Maybe it's because I just have no desire to spend like dozens of hours to pour into this game.
Did you play the first?
But no, I didn't. And see, maybe I will. I'm actually considering picking up Xenoblade Chronicles 3D for the new 3DS. I'm considering picking that up first, and then maybe I'll get more excited about it later. And I think that's actually probably a good move for them to release Xenoblade Chronicles X or Xenoblade Chronicles 3D in April, and then maybe have a holiday release for Xenoblade Chronicles X, because I may actually get excited for it then. But yeah, anyway. But what about you guys? I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful. It looks like a gorgeous game. But what do you guys think?
I think I agree with you. It's knowing it's going to be 80+ hour game is kind of intimidating, and I only got maybe 10 hours into the first game, and I need to replay that, and maybe the 3D remake will let me play it being a portable. So I'm in the same boat you are. I'll try to play it in the 3D version, and then I might be more psyched for this one.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Justin?
Yeah, this does not scratch my itch at all. Sorry to say that. I do think it looks like a beautiful game. Like, it looks really fantastic, but it's just not one of those games that I really find interest in. And I don't think I have that much time to be able to sink like that much time and dedicated hours into a game like that. But the world looks expansive. It looks beautiful. It looks like it'd be a great story. But it's just definitely not on my list, but I can appreciate where it is on some people's and the type of gamer that needs to play this. So I think it's great that Nintendo's continuing with that game. But yeah, for me, it's no game for me.
No game for you.
No game.
Going back to Hyrule Warriors DLC, by the way, February 5th, I believe?
5th.
Right? Yeah. So, and then Xenoblade, they just said, coming soon, more information, which I don't... Okay. Sure. I'm guessing that's probably going to... Xenoblade, I'm guessing, is probably going to be... It's apparently really, it's pretty much done. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that July, maybe? Somewhere around there. July or August. Just to give enough time for translation and all that jazz, too. But... because I'm sure they've had the localization done for quite a while, but as far as getting that additional stuff, each game may extra time. So I don't know. Anyway, moving on to third-party stuff. First thing we have. Oh no, sorry, one more thing. Mario vs. Donkey Kong Tipping Stars, which I had totally forgotten about. It was a pretty small thing that they announced at E3, but the exciting thing there is that they are doing cross-buy. which is pretty exciting. So if you buy the Wii U version, you get a code for the 3DS. If you buy the 3DS, you get a code for the Wii U. Now it's interesting that they're still apparently working on the technical end of figuring out how to just have it automatically sync to your account instead of system bound. Sort of licenses for the games. But did either of you guys? What do you guys think about this game? You thinking of picking it up?
I think I will.
Jesse, what do you think?
Yeah.
Yay, nay?
Yeah. Well, actually, for me, I thought this.
Oh, sorry. So, one at a time, people. Justin, go first, or Jesse, go first.
All right.
Go.
I think I'm having problems with my mic here,
Did
but
I lose you guys?
can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. The whole franchise I've been up and down on. I've liked some games. I didn't like some. I really didn't like the last one that had the sliding puzzle-ish type of game. I didn't like that at all. But this one going back to the normal Mario versus Donkey Kong type of gameplay, like the March of the Minis type stuff. I think I'm gonna pick it up.
Cool. Justin, how about you? Did we lose Justin? Oh.
Yeah, I thought, I had totally forgot. No, I should still be here. Hello?
I'm getting a huge delay from both of you guys.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of lag.
Let me pause the recording. Okay, I'm gonna quit the call and I'm gonna call you guys right back. All right.
Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick speed test and see if it's my internet here.
Yeah, so during the Twitch stream is still going, but I was also trying to save a local copy of it while we're going, and I think that might have caused some of my laggy problems, so I stopped the local recording, but it's still streaming. And my video apparently fell off. Where did my video go?
Maybe we should just go with I'm gonna mute my video because and maybe we should too, just because it's weird. Test, and my speed is like, dang it, internet.
I know that I was having some problems on this side of town recently, Zach.
Okay.
This is going to make interesting content for the people watching on YouTube.
0.6, what the heck, man? We seem to be holding an okay connection if we only do audio, though. Should we just keep going with just audio?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, we are at 56 minutes. Wow. Okay. But yeah, let's keep going just with video, or just with audio for now.
Can you guys hear me all right?
I can hear you okay.
Yep.
Okay, I set up.
Okay. And we're back. Okay, everybody. So yeah, that's Donkey Kong, Mario vs. Donkey Kong. Justin, you were going to say what you were thinking about this game.
Yeah, I totally forgot this is one that was mentioned at E3 last year. This actually looks really cool, I think. I love the fact that it is a cross-buy, first and foremost. I think it's great. So you buy the Wii U version, you get the 3DS version. We've all been asking for cross-buy functionality for a while. And this looks like it has a lot of Mario Maker elements associated with it as well, where you get to make levels, share them, and challenge them. So I wonder if maybe, although Mario Maker may be getting delayed, it may be because this was kind of around that same time zone for being completed, or this was a little bit ahead of the completion, so they decided to push ahead with this and move Mario Maker out, because it feels like there are definitely some elements there that you can share locally, share and rate people's stuff. So This one I will definitely be picking up, and it'll be great for my new 3DS as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And another
Yeah.
another feature of the game, the subtitle "Tipping Stars" is exactly what it sounds like. If you as you play the game, you earn stars for completing levels, and then you can use the stars to buy components that you can build levels with. So if you build levels, put them out there. If people like them, they can tip you. They can spend some of their stars and give them to you, so you have more stars to buy more stuff to make better levels.
Yeah, here you go, kid. You'll do better with this than I will. That kind of thing. So yeah, no, that sounds great. It looks pretty fun. I'm interested to see what sort of levels there are, and I'm assuming that it's a simple enough game that there will be Wii U, 3DS cross compatibility or cross play as well. I don't know if it's necessarily cross save, but
I'm not sure I'd trust him quite yet with that, but that is a big hope.
yeah, just that if you make a level on your 3DS
See.
and you can play it, somebody else could play it on the Wii U or something
Well,
like that.
when they initially announced this, it was talking about the web framework. So if this is the web framework still in place, and the web framework exists for 3DS, then it ultimately should be the same game, and shared level should work. But who knows if that's actually what they did? We'll find out.
Yeah. Moving on, Project Treasure featuring sunglasses is what I have in our notes.
And
this is like
This confused me so hard.
The weird moment of the direct is absolutely Project Treasure. All we really got is it's a co-op game. It's 4-player co-op. It's online. It's free to play, and you search for treasure. That's pretty much all it is that we've been told about it. And judging by the weird sort of cropped character art, there are people in it. So that's about all we know.
Do they have feet?
They probably have feet, although that is currently unconfirmed. That is rumor and speculation at this point. So I don't know.
This was so weird.
It was really weird, and like we were saying in the pre-show too, Justin. This happened to be the thumbnail for the video on YouTube on Nintendo's channel. Which,
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Nintendo.
This was also, I in the pre-show I talked to Zach and Jesse here about what I was kind of running behind and I was late and I got to work and I turned on the Twitch stream to catch it, and this is literally when I came into the show or came into the Nintendo Direct. It was this guy talking with sunglasses and these like weird, like 4-paneled like free online multiplayer, and I'm like, did I just fall into the wrong stream?
You were watching Sony's stream. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened here? So this was
weird.
such a weird. And then I then I jumped back to the beginning and started watching it and caught up with it. So it was very weird though.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. There's so little that we know about this game that we can't even really talk about it. A sort of squad-based online thing. The fact that it's free to play is awesome, though. I am excited about that. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Moving on, we got a montage type deal of a bunch of
montage of rapid fire.
Games. Yeah. So the first one, I don't know. Just as we're going through it, if you have any comments, just speak up. First one was Elliot Quest.
February.
Which is in February, and that seems like another generic 2D platformer. I wasn't super excited by it. It kind of had hints of Kid Icarus a little bit, but I don't know. Wasn't too excited about it. Maybe we'll just do a thumbs up or thumbs down for each one of these for you guys. So
on my first look at it, thumb up. Like I'll give it a go for sure. If up and down are my only choices.
Okay, or a meh. We'll have a meh.
Meh on the fence.
Yeah, I'm kind of a thumbs down, but that's maybe more of a preference for me than anything else. Next one is Bleck, which is, if you haven't seen this one, it's a puzzle game where basically you create a single pattern and then it repeats through the entire level, and you try and collect all of the different dots or whatever. I don't know. From each one of you guys? Justin?
Meh.
Yeah.
No.
Jesse?
Down.
Down? Yeah, I'm somewhere between a meh and an up and a thumbs up. I'm not sure exactly. Depends on. That's one that I'm watching but
Right.
that's about it.
Really,
Next one, Citizens
Black is February.
Black is also February. Citizens of Earth. This is a sort of. It honestly reminded me a lot of Earthbound.
Yes, I made that comment too, and I said it reminds me of Combat in Mother series.
Yeah, and it reminds me as well. I was a Genesis kid growing up. It reminds me of the Phantasy Star as well, which I mean, similar sort of thing, right? So although the style and the flavor is definitely more Earthbound.
Even during the battle sequences in the background behind the monster, it still had that same wavy psychedelic effect.
Oh, the psychedelic, that's very cool. Justin, thumbs up or thumbs down for you?
Thumbs down.
Really? How come?
Yep. It just doesn't really. It feels a little bit too campy.
Yeah.
It just feels a little bit too campy for me. Yeah.
It is definitely right in that line.
And isn't that what makes the Mother series great?
Yeah, but there's so much heart to the Mother series that if they're too campy and on the nose with this, then it'll be hard to.
And I'm going to say this in hope that my two co-hosts here do not take away my Nintendo geek card. I have not played anything in the Mother series before.
That's fine. I've only gotten maybe an hour or two into both Earthbound and the Mother 3 version that Jack has played.
Yeah, I played all the way through Mother 3, but I mean you've literally got to download a ROM of that game and then patch it with some weird English translation patch and then play it on an emulator to play that game. And then I've played through some of Earthbound, not all of it though.
Yeah,
Earthbound's the only one that's been released.
It's
not a huge transgression that you know.
Yeah. When I tried playing Mother 3, I was running. Remember, I said I modded my Wii. I have a GBA emulator on my Wii, so I was playing it on the Wii, on my big screen.
So I think the big thing for me. Sorry, Jesse, what were you going to say about this one?
Thumbs up. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think the thing for me, I'm kind of somewhere between a man. I'm more on a thumbs up, but what really depends on for me is this is an eShop game, and so if this is a short, easily digestible version of like a tribute to Earthbound and those kinds of games, I'm totally signed up. I don't want a huge game. Right? If it's something that is short and easily played through, although at the same time it says there's 40 characters that you can unlock in that game.
So how short can it be?
So how short can it be? And maybe this will be like a $15 to $20 type purchase.
Yeah, and launches January 20th, so this coming Tuesday.
Yeah. So, next week.
Next week.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I may look at I'll be paying attention to reviews on that one. Next one is Gunman Clive 2. Gunman Clive 1 came out on the 3DS, and it was $1, wasn't it? Am I remembering that right? It was ridiculous.
Or maybe $1.99. It was cheap.
Yeah, it was the cheapest game that you can get on your new 3DS.
I bought it and played through it in maybe 2 hours.
It was great. It was like a Cowboy Mega Man. Justin, I think regardless of like when you pick up your new 3DS, I would definitely suggest getting Gunman Clive just because it's so cheap, and also just like for what you get, it's awesome. So
yeah, this was actually a thumb up for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. I definitely am giving that one a thumbs up as well.
Yeah,
Jesse?
I'm a meh on that one. You know, I didn't enjoy playing it all that much. The first one, it was just kind of going through the motions. So I'm depending on what the price point is on this, I probably will pass.
All right. Next on the list is Moon Chronicles. Now this.
Oh, and Gunman Clive 2 sometime this month. They didn't say.
Right. Okay. Next on the list is Moon Chronicles. Episode 1 is currently out on the 3DS. I think it's $9 or something like that. Maybe $8. And this episodes 2, 3, and 4 are going to be available soon. And if you get a season pass, then you can get all of the additional episodes. I played through the first episode. It was pretty fun. I've never played this. It's a re-release of the DS game. Seems pretty fun though. It's been so long since I played the first episode that I feel hesitant to buy the rest of the episodes now, even though I played through the first episode.
Gotta play it again.
So, yeah, that's true. It didn't take very long to play through. It only took like an hour and a half to play through that first episode.
And which is the other 3 episodes come out later this month all at once.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it should be pretty good.
I I don't think I've ever heard of this before, so I have no idea what it's about. I haven't played the DS game. I haven't played episode 1, so I'll probably pass on it.
I think it's Renegade Kid, which.
Oh, really?
That's correct.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a DS first-person shooter, but it was more of like a Metroid Prime than any sort of like action game.
Oh, and then that's why I passed on it. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be why. But yeah, that's definitely, I don't know, seems pretty good. Thumbs up or a thumbs down for you two? I'm guessing I know what Jesse's is.
Down.
Mine's a yeah. Yeah, I definitely want to try episode 1 before I make the decisions on 2, 3, 4. But it has some interesting looks to it for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look up some screenshots and some footage. Oh, I guess the direct had some footage and stuff too. Next we have Sega 3D Classics. There was a bunch of different ones. It surprises me that they've only released one Sonic the Hedgehog 3D game. I played that one. I was a huge Genesis kid growing up, so I'm surprised that they haven't done more Sonic games.
I didn't know which games they were, but there will be 5 games coming out between January and March.
The only one that really looked good for me was Afterburner 2. That one looked like it might be good, but at the same time, it's really unfortunate because that new, whatever it is, Ace Combat for the new 3DS is also coming out fairly soon as well, and so anyway. So thumbs up or thumbs down? Anything there sticking out to anybody?
Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. Next was Etrian Mystery Dungeon.
This one scares me.
This one's weird. I don't know. I don't.
It's
this
like
isn't really my.
It's like an Etrian Odyssey cross mystery dungeon.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
I haven't played any of the Etrian Odyssey games or Mystery Dungeon games.
Neither have I, other than Persona Q.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like a meh or a thumbs down for most of us.
It's the down and no release date mentioned.
It is a down, yeah.
Story of Seasons. I suspect it's going to be similar.
Down.
Yeah.
I want more information on Story of Seasons first, and that releases March.
Okay. And that's the Harvest Moon-esque sort of deal, right?
I honestly don't remember. At that point, I was getting tired of typing, and everything was blurring together. So I may have to rewatch the direct.
Next one we have Fossil Fighters Frontier, which is Pokemon with dinosaurs. Is what my sort of. I have never played these games. That's kind of my impression of it, at least.
Neither have I. But as soon as I saw this, I thought Zach and Miller would love it.
Nice. It's not the first one in the franchise. It did seem to be adding some online multiplayer, but for me, it's definitely a meh. Although it's the kind of game that I'm like, oh, maybe my son in a couple of years would like a game like this. But
yeah, this feels like it's aimed at boys between the ages of 6 and 8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
that
was the...
That releases March 20.
Okay, perfect. That's the same day as Codename Steam, right? No, March 13th is Codename Steam.
March 13th is Codename Steam.
The same day as Mario Party. Okay.
Segue to Steam.
Segue to, I guess,
Full
first the new
steam ahead.
Well, before we get there, though, we're missing a big one. The new 3DS. Which, by the way, announced is the new Nintendo 3DS XL only. Not the 3DS, the normal size 3DS, which how do you guys feel about this? Like, we're only getting the XL in North America, whereas everywhere else in the world they're getting the option to choose the small one or the big one.
I heard that the 3DS was being discontinued, and I thought that meant, oh yeah, they're phasing it out, ready for the new stuff. But apparently the small size is phased out. They are no more in North America. I've heard in Japan the XL sells, or the LL sells more than the regular one, 2-to-1. But I imagine in North America it must be a lot more than that for them to actually say, we're done with this, so we're down to 2 SKUs, the 2DS and the XL. So when it comes to the new 3DS, then they're only giving us the new 3DS XL.
Yeah, that's kind of my suspicion too, is like, for the person who is, looking to buy a system the 2DS is for $130, great entry point.
Well, it's $100
But as far
now.
as, like, the jump, well, yeah, right, yeah, but so I'm not sure what exactly the price is for the new 3DS XL in the States. What is it down there? Is it
One
$230 or is it
$199.99, $200.
Okay, yeah, it was.
It's the same.
$230 here with-
It's the same price point as the XL is now off the shelf.
Yeah, so for Canadians, just take note that this is the first time we're seeing hardware price changes because of exchange rates, which I'm glad I got my Wii U now and that I don't have to worry about that for a long time. But
And-
yeah, next time you buy a
And
that's crazy.
I did figure out how much $200 US is in Canadian money. Apparently, it's equal to 240 Canadian dollars. So, getting the system for 230, Canadians are still getting a small deal.
Yeah,
If,
for sure. So as far as like reasons why, it's also not coming with an AC adapter, which is kind of
it didn't.
as well.
It didn't in Japan either.
Yeah. So basically, what Nintendo has said though is, oh yeah, well the different branches make decisions separately of each other. And again, I think that one thing to keep in mind when you're looking at, oh well, Europe got it and Japan got it, you need to look at the potential customer base and how many units they're going to have to produce. It's probably not as big of a deal to produce a certain number for. A certain number of units for Europe and
because
Japan.
they're a smaller player base versus North America, which is their big market.
Exactly. And so the risk to create a bunch of the smaller units and then not sell them is a lot more in North America than it would be in Europe or Japan. So that would be my suspicion on why they're kind of going with just the XLs. Although it makes me really sad that we don't get those awesome Facebook.
Yeah, Twitter blew up with that. Oh, so sad.
Yeah, super sad. But I don't know. Now we all have them pre-ordered, right?
Yes, but I'll detail my story at the end. And there's a reason why I'm waiting to the end.
Justin, you seem quiet over there. What's going on?
Yeah, so mine isn't pre-ordered because I'm going with Future Shop because I got a schwack load of gift certificates, and apparently they're not doing pre-orders for the 3DS. So I don't know which version I'm going to be getting.
So you're gonna be
Well, I
standing.
know which version I want to be getting.
You're gonna be standing outside the door at 8:00,
Yeah,
waiting for
so
that
I'll be
midnight launch
Pretty much if they do that.
in 15-degree weather, or
the 3DS.
oh yeah, Celsius. So it's like it's Celsius, so it's -10.
Yeah, I know. It's not too bad. And we're Canadians, so we'll probably do it in shorts anyways. So
What's that about?
I was kind of frustrated originally about this, but I think logic has to dictate in regards to market, in regards to moving of units. If North America just doesn't sell as many units to be able to justify the DS with the faceplate, the Famicom model, as I would call it, then that's just the market, and you kind of have to deal with it. It's disappointing because I would have loved for it to come here. But in the same regards, we all kind of made the joke. Well, I guess Nintendo made the choice for me now about which one I'm going to be getting. Right,
Yeah,
I will be getting the XL one. But I did like the faceplate idea. I did like that. But even boiling down to everything, I probably was going to have to go with the XL one just because I like the size and I like how it feels in my hands. And that's just the nature of it. So, we all knew this was coming. We had some information leaked yesterday that it was going to be the 13th of February. Not a huge shock and surprise. Yeah, so I'm excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I hope that Future Shop locally has a couple available to purchase that day, and I'm really excited for it. So it's gonna be great. And I think that Nintendo did the best they can. Yeah.
Very cool. I went in on my lunch break to the GameStop at the mall here, or not GameStop, PV Games is what we call it here. And I went in there and I had already seen on Twitter that, oh man, the Majora's Mask edition has sold out on GameStop's website in 15 minutes and it's gone and nobody can get it and people were mad and whatever.
And
so
there's a reason for that, and again, I'll explain that when I get to my story.
And so I walked into EB Games and he was like, yeah, you can pre-order the black one, the red one, the Majora's one or the Monster Hunter bundle. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll get the Zelda one. So I have the Zelda one on order, which is awesome. I'm really excited. So, although I'm not super crazy about the design on it, I don't know. It's like I showed.
Which, interestingly enough, does not come with the game either. Hey, you're aware of that?
Yeah. It's just the same price as the regular, model.
All right. Well,
it's just different paint or whatever.
Right.
But yeah.
yeah. So since you mentioned the Zelda one, I might as well just say my story now then, because I was saving it for the end when they did that reveal. All right. So I went to my GameStop. I was there at 10 in the morning when they opened. I wanted to pre-order the Zelda one. They said you cannot do a pre-order of the Zelda one, only the red or the black, because apparently in the States, the Zelda one is a web exclusive, but you can't. It's an in-store web exclusive, which is why you can't order it off the website. It was up on the website by mistake. It shouldn't have been there. Okay. You're only supposed to be able to buy it if you walk into a store, pay the full price up front, and then have them order it for you, and then they will ship it to your house. Which means it'll be probably 3 to 5 days shipping, so I probably still won't get it until the 18th unless I decide to pay extra money for faster shipping. But so because I didn't have the $200 to dump on it today, so what I did is I did a pre-order for the black one. I put my $50 down. Then when I get paid on Friday, I'm going to go back in and ask, can I still order it, or is it already gone?
Dude, I lost you. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I cut you out in the middle of the story, dude. Are you there?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Are you there, Justin?
Justin fell off.
Justin.
Can you hear me still, or am I out?
I can hear you. I think we lost Justin.
We did lose Justin.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
He's back.
Did you reset or anything?
No, I all of a sudden went very quiet, and then I realized it was gone.
All right, so
I'm gonna just check. Okay.
So
let me start the recording again. Okay, sorry, we're back again.
All right, so
I love the tech. Okay, so you went to the store. They said something about weird ordering it at the store, and then they'll ship it to your house.
Yeah, but so I have to pay for it in advance, all in advance, if I wanted to do this. I didn't have the $200 on me to do it, so I did a pre-order of the black model. I put my $50 down for that. I get paid on Friday, and so on Friday I'll go back and ask them, is it sold out, or can I still order it? If I can still order it, then I'll have them cancel the pre-order, apply that $50 to my current order, and I'll give them the remaining $150 plus the tax. And then done. It'll be shipped to my house when it launches. And if it is gone,
nutty, dude.
And if it is gone too late, then I'm like, all right, at least I got a black one.
Yeah. What I was told, and again, this is just some dude at EB Games, but apparently the website was given, their allotment was not as much as the actual stores were. They were allotting more units to the store, but their website was, I don't know. So, anyways, regardless, we've got them all pre-ordered, so that should be exciting.
Yeah. So just a general question to both of you, kind of as you walked into either EB Games or GameStop. It's usually there's several people in there. There are a lot of people kind of who had come in since the direct to order either their 3DS or like what was kind of the general atmosphere.
There were a few people in the store when I went in. Some of them were there to pre-order a unit, and some of them were not. But there were at least a few that were there to pre-order right away. So
yeah,
everybody seemed really excited.
Yeah, there was one person who got there before me and was waiting outside for the 15 minutes before they opened while I was waiting in the car, and she was there to order the Zelda unit, and she paid the full price and is going to be shipping to her house. And then I even wrote an article on VG Tribune titled, "Want the Majora's Mask new Nintendo 3DS? Good luck." And I kind of detailed my little story.
Very cool. Yeah, so just as a little bit of detail, we won't go over all the details of the new 3DS XL. Basically, better processing power, face tracking 3D, which improves the 3D quite a bit. And the big feature that they outlined quite a bit of, well, I guess the C-Stick was another one, and then the Amiibo functionality, which moves us right into Codename Steam, which was the first game that they detailed with new Amiibo functionality for the game. Again, Codename Steam is being developed by Intelligent Systems, the same company that is bringing, or that brought us Fire Emblem. Although it seems like it's a different development team within Intelligent Systems, but it's the same company. And so because of that, Codename Steam will be utilizing the Fire Emblem amiibos. That would be Marth, Ike, Robin, and Lucina. And they are all going to be going to be unlockable characters within Codename Steam. I thought it was interesting. They talked about how in the game, if you tap the amiibo onto the gamepad, then you will have essentially, you'll unlock that character and he will be on your team. If for whatever reason your character dies in the game, just like in Fire Emblem, they're gone forever. And you would have to then tap the amiibo onto the touch screen to get that character back in your game on the next level. But it's not like there was in the game, which would be basically brought back to life in between missions. That does not happen with your amiibo characters, as sort of a tribute to the Fire Emblem series. So this made me really excited. I don't know why. I think it's maybe part of it might be that the color of those Fire Emblem characters in the art style of the game looked amazing. I love the art style of the game, and those characters look great in there. And also, frankly, if there's one criticism I have of Codename Steam, it's that it maybe needs a little bit more color. And so those characters really popped in that game. Justin, I know you were saying that you were getting pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, this is another one where I thought you were crazy for jumping on board early, but I'm starting to build up on the Steam is starting to build for the game code. Steam
grown.
It is a little bit over the top. I know, grown. It is a little bit over the top, but I do like some of the aspects I'm seeing about almost being asynchronous communication and playing and taking turns, and it very much reminds me of an iOS game called Hero Academy, which I think was great. So this looks really awesome. I didn't care much for, as I mentioned earlier, I don't know much about the Fire Emblem series. I didn't play it, so I wasn't collecting any of the amiibos. Now I'm kind of wishing I was, and I really want to get an Ike amiibo to play this game. I thought this is a great integration of cross-play or crossing the character usage of Fire Emblem into Codename Steam. So this is actually on my docket to pick up, and I think this is the 13th, March 13th for Codename Steam.
Yeah, March 13th, so a month after the new 3DS comes out. And yeah, I agree. And I mean, good news for everybody who did not get a Marth amiibo, who really wants to have Marth in their game. They will, they are going to be releasing at least more Marth figures. Although I think it's interesting that by the time that more Marth figures are produced and then shipped to North America and are on store shelves, we may be done with Codename Steam, at least through the main campaign. We'll see how long, what the legs are like on the multiplayer and the replay value, and if there's any DLC planned for that game, like there was for Fire Emblem Awakening. But yeah, I'm really excited for that game. I'm definitely going to be picking up an Ike amiibo so I can have him in my team. So
yeah, I might need your assistance in getting Ike amiibo as well.
Yeah, we'll just, again, that pact of, okay, well, are there any there? Buy two, and then we'll just go with that. So
we have like a blood amiibo pack.
Exactly. Next on that was outlined was Ace Combat Assault Horizon Legacy Plus, which, wow,
that's another mouthful.
Yeah. I've never played any of these Ace Combat games, but other than the basic sort of improved control, I'm assuming did they mention anything about the C-Stick? I'm assuming they used the C-Stick, but the big thing there again was the amiibo functionality with different skins for your airplanes, so you can have a Mario themed airplane if you want. Depending on how much this game costs, I'm not super excited about it. Seems pretty sort of generic-ish. So I'll be watching reviews, but I don't know. This one will be released on launch day of February 13th for the new 3DS XL.
I must have really dozed off during the presentation because I don't remember this at all. what did I write about
This
it?
time we were all getting glazed over by the 45 minutes earlier of all the information, and all also mentally all realizing like, wait, what? Okay, so the other DS is not coming to North America?
Yeah,
We were all
still
trying to
in that
process
boat.
that information,
Right.
still, and going to the internet and being like, oh, he must have truly made an error.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did mention in the direct that Codename Steam, Ace Combat, Xenoblades, which we're about to talk about in a couple seconds here, and Ironfall are all prime examples of making use of the new 3DS hardware in some context, whether it's the C-Stick, whether it's the Amiibo support, quicker processor, or even the 3D scale as well. So that's how they highlighted these next couple of games.
Yeah,
So Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Sorry, go ahead.
I just mentioned Ace Combat, Assault Horizon Legacy, February 13th. That was the only thing I wrote about it.
Yeah. And
So-
Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is the first exclusive title only for new Nintendo 3DS XL or 3DS or whatever. But it's only for the new systems. I'm definitely interested to see how they pull that off, or like what they're going to do to make sure that this is only for the new 3DS. I don't know exactly. Whether it'll just, if you put it in and be like, oh, sorry, this is only for the new 3DS. But yeah, this, again, we kind of talked about it before. This is definitely something that I'm interested in picking up. I like having my RPGs on the go and not necessarily on a console, just because I can take it with me or play it in bed or whatever. So.
And this is a port of Xenoblade Chronicles that was on the original, the Wii, was it not? Like
Yeah, this was a Wii.
port?
This was a Wii. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a 3D port.
Yeah, so it should be. It looks pretty good. I mean, it looks beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next game, on the other hand, they showed us. I almost feel like they if this isn't coming for a while, it almost feels like it would have been better not to show it at all, because it looks so generic.
Oh, and they said Xenoblade will be out in April.
Yeah, Xenoblade is in April. Sorry.
Yep.
Ironfall Invasion is basically a third person, or was it a third person or first person? See, I didn't even. I don't know. It looks very like a shooter, Twitch-based shooter. Sort of online. I mean, it is impressive. I don't want to dismiss the efforts of the developer, because it was a 3-person development team they mentioned that created this game, and so in that sense, it is a pretty impressive game, and maybe it'll even be an indie game, an eShop sort of game that we see this come out on. I don't know. Was not excited by it though. What about you guys?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs
Sorry,
down.
are we still playing that?
Sure.
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it really will depend. And the thing is that this is coming on the heels of Splatoon, and if there's a game that I'm going to be playing an online shooter, it's going to be Splatoon. So yeah, I don't really want to be playing that. Last two games, and then we'll talk about one more as well. Sort of that was announced overseas is Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. Now these are the two big games that we're going to talk about now. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate and Majora's Mask are the two other games that are being released on February 13th. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, apparently there's a demo coming. Apparently there was some rumblings I saw online today of demos going out to Club Nintendo members, demo codes similar to what they did with Pokemon and the Smash Brothers for the 3DS. So there are going to be demos. I will try the demo, but I don't know. I want to be excited about this, but I also want to play other games other than Monster Hunter. Like, I almost feel like it's just not the game for me right now. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I kind of put Monster Hunter, unfortunately, in the same category as I put like Xenoblade. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who love that, but for me, it's just not turning my crank. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Jesse?
I think I might have mentioned it once before, but I tried Monster Hunter Tri on Wii. I was really excited for it. I thought this was going to be something I would really dig, and the tutorial literally pissed me off. I was so upset at it. I was so I haven't touched it since, and this was what 6 years ago.
Yeah, the success and the appeal of this game is entirely based on whatever efforts they make to make it more accessible. That is one thing that people who power through and have friends to teach them about Monster Hunter, they end up loving Monster Hunter. But if you don't have friends who are really big into it, then a lot of people just don't get into it. And that's just the experience that I want. I don't want to have sit down and have somebody explain it to me. I don't want to have to sit down and read message boards to understand this game.
Exactly.
And so if that's what I'm going to need, then I'm not interested. If it's a game that is really easily accessible and easy to get into and is a lot different from Monster Hunter 3 in that sense, then I'll consider it. But I'm not looking to get into a huge game otherwise like that. So. And then of course the other one is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which I think weren't we all kind of expecting this game to come out in like April or something like that? Like the fact that it's coming February 13th seems really soon and really exciting for me.
Yeah, this is a really quick turnaround time, right? We heard rumor, or we heard news about this in the beginning of November in that first Nintendo Direct that was our first episode of Nintendo Dads. Mm-hmm. So for this turnaround to be about 4 months in total, I think is relatively quick. So now I'm going to ask both of you. There's kind of this mixed camp about Majora's Mask, right? Some people either love it or hate it. I've never played the Majora's Mask game. What are your guys' thoughts on it?
Jesse, I'll let you go first.
I'm one who never got into it. I tried like 4 or 5 times, and I think I only got to the first dungeon once. And even then, I needed a walkthrough just to crawl through the dungeon because it seemed so obtuse. So when I first heard about it, I'm thinking, I think I'll pass on it because I didn't dig it. You know, when I bought it on Wii Virtual Console to try it again, but now I'm hearing more about it. Sounds like they are making tweaks to the game to make it more accessible. They're adding like hints, like the hint system, similar to what they did in the Ocarina of Time remake. So I think I'm going to get this, and hopefully it finally sinks in. And if not, I tried.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've played some of it as well. I can't remember exactly how much I played of it, but I did play. I didn't play through the whole thing, but it is definitely different than Ocarina of Time. Obviously, it uses all the same assets. The thing that's so different about it is that you're basically playing through the same 3 days over and over again, and so it feels like there's a lot more. I don't know. My impression was that there are a lot more side quests, a lot more of the love of that game is kind of based in really digging into the side quests and I mean the whole theme of the game is like all about death and all about those sorts of things. And so, like, it's very dark and sort of contemplative and introspective in that sense, where, you know, you'll go through different situations with people who are facing the end of the world and, you know, helping them, you know, come to grips with it or to, you know, get something in their life a certain way so before they die and, you know, different things like that it's a lot darker. But if that's kind of, you know, it's a little bit more moody that way, but there are parts of it that are really, really cool, and I really like it. So I'm not super crazy about it, but from my impression, that's kind of why people get the way they do about it. So yeah, I don't know. Are you looking to pick it up, Justin? I'm assuming you're going to pick this one up. But.
Yeah, well, this one's kind of my question mark. Obviously, as I'm entering into the 3DS realm now, there's a lot of great games out there that I want to pick up when I pick up my my system. A Link Between Worlds is one of them, and I really love the Link to the Past I talked about before. So that one's kind of on my top of my Zelda one, but this one has kind of been mulling around of like, this might be an interesting one to pick up as well. So I was interested to hear your guys' opinion. I've done some research and looking online. It really seems like an either you love it or hate it camp. Mm-hmm. So very interesting to hear your thoughts as well.
Yeah, and I think too, like I feel a lot of people really love Ocarina of Time, and I don't have as much of a love for Ocarina of Time. I think it's a good game, but I don't like absolutely love it like I think some people do. And so the difference between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, to me at least, isn't as big as some other people may think it is or say it is. I feel like there's a lot of, I guess in both cases, I ended up having to use a walkthrough or a FAQ at some point. And so to me, whether you have to use one or not, you know, it's just part of the experience. And so I think it's definitely interesting that way, and it seems like they are again making strides to make it more accessible and easier to understand where you need to go next and stuff like that. So yeah, and of course they announced the special edition 3DS XL, new 3DS XL. With the weird mask on it. I showed a picture of it to my wife. I was like, yeah, I ordered this special edition one. She's like, oh, that's the one you ordered? I was like, yeah, that's the one. She's like, yeah, but it's this cool mask. It's in the game and it's in the. She's like, that's weird. So it is funny and it is interesting.
Yeah, and so
I think one of the biggest things that I think all of us can say is God bless our wives and God bless our families for being so understanding for our weird addictions and our problems. My wife was kind enough to point out to me, she's like, so that's your Valentine's Day gift to yourself, is it? I said, yes, it is.
You're like, oh, thanks Nintendo for scheduling the launch the day before Valentine's Day for setting me up for that. Now it's going to have to be even better on Valentine's Day.
Exactly.
To make up for the purchase.
Yeah. And since my son's also wanting to play this, I'm probably going to do what I did with Persona Q is do a double dip of it kind of right off the bat. I'll buy a physical one for him to use, and then I'll buy it digitally for myself.
Very cool. Finally, I just wanted to go over. I'm trying to see. I was looking for other information of other games that were announced in overseas, and maybe the other directs that were not announced here, as well as maybe some additional news that was not covered in the direct itself. The first one is that the Japanese Nintendo Direct specifically mentioned a new Rhythm Heaven game coming to Nintendo 3DS sometime this year for Japan. And for those of you who have not played a Rhythm Heaven game, A, shame on you, and B, they're awesome. You should play them. I have a DS copy that you can get. Do you guys have experience with Rhythm Heaven, and would you be interested in a new one for 3DS?
I only played the Wii version a little bit, and I that was the one. It was at the E3 that I went to. And okay. I played that demo and I liked it, but when I played out of the home, it just didn't feel the same. For some reason, it wasn't clicking for me. And I never owned the DS one, so I probably will pass on this one.
Justin,
I think I was at a friend's house and they were trying it, or I've seen someone play it before. The Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, it hasn't really grabbed me as one of the ones, but I'm interested to see what they bring to the table for sure.
Yeah, I have a copy of the DS game. And it's definitely it's really fun. It's again, it's a rhythm game, but it's very sort of precision. The art style is great. It's sort of this like hand drawn art style, which is really fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring for that. As well, other quick news. Just looking on here. There was also apparently some people are thinking that Nintendo may have accidentally revealed a new Metroid game for 3DS on their website. One of the graphics for the website basically said, when talking about the 3DS, they said from Super Smash Brothers to Pokemon, Animal Crossing, and Metroid, the Nintendo 3DS family of handheld systems are home to fan favorites you can't find anyplace else.
So, except for Metroid, you can't find it anywhere.
Except for Metroid, it's not anywhere. So they're thinking, oh, is that actually a game that's coming? So, I don't know. Seems like maybe it was just a sort of catch-all, like, yeah, this is one of our franchises, but, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I haven't seen a whole lot of other stuff that was announced overseas, other than, of course, faceplates for the 3DS. That makes me sad.
Yeah, Japan had this other little game called Box Boy. I only saw pictures of it, and it looks. The main character is a white square with eyes and feet, and he walks around. And other than that, I have no idea.
So yeah, let's just go.
So I'm looking through my notes. So someone posted that Japan had a release date for a game that we didn't have a release date yet. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. Might have been Xenoblade X, or I don't know. If I find it,
you
I'll.
can find that, yeah, for sure.
I'm digging
Just
through
just
my
to-
notes.
just to kind of wrap up, let's go around and maybe Justin, we'll start with you. What are the top 2 or 3 announcements that you're most excited about from this?
Top 2 or 3. I'm gonna give them real fast. New 3DS coming to North America. Release date for Steam, or codename Steam, or which we already knew, but just more detail from the Amiibo support. This is getting tough now. Mario and Donkey Kong Tipping Point, or Tipping Star Tipping Point. It's like a bad Malcolm Gladwell book. Tipping Star, Mario Party 10, and Splatoon. Those are the ones that I'm stoked about.
Absolutely.
And that was like 5 items. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We'll let it slide. Yeah, I'm going down the list for me. Fire Emblem. It was an exciting announcement that they're making another one of those. Metroid Prime Trilogy for $10 is huge. Splatoon and codename Steam, and of course the 3DS. Those are the big ones for me. And again, Citizens of Earth. I'm gonna be looking at reviews for that one. That one is on my radar, and it wasn't before this direct. So I know I'm alone on that one, but it seems like it caught my interest, and I can't necessarily explain why.
You champion that cause, my
I
friend.
know. It looks so weird, and I think that's maybe why it was. And it's so weird, but also so similar to some other games that I've played in the past and enjoyed. So, Jesse, did you find what were the few things?
Yeah, I agree with the new 3DS launch, and I looked through the list and I realized how much I thought was meh. But I'd say Wii Virtual Console on Wii U is pretty interesting, and hoping that given myself another opportunity to try Majora's Mask and not die after 2 hours. And then the Citizens of Earth looks interesting. Those are the ones I'm looking forward to.
Very cool. All right.
And then
let's head in.
I did find that the Japanese launch for Xenoblade Chronicles X is April 29th.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. So I would definitely think that that's probably coming in June or July is what I would say. Maybe August for North America. Very cool. It's exciting.
And then did you see the charging station that they're selling for the new system, the new 3DS?
No, I know that there's a cradle that you can get that stands the system upright if you have the new one.
Yeah.
Or the smaller of the two.
Yeah, you close the clamshell and you put it in so it stands up versus laying flat. It looked weird when I saw it.
Mm-hmm. I don't really. Yeah.
I like the cradle. I have the charging. I have the charging stand cradle from. I bought the XL version from the Nintendo store just so I can have the cradle working with my XL, and I'm probably going to do it again for the new XL because I like having that just near my bed. Just I want you to charge it, drop it, versus having to fuddle around with where's the cord in the dark and where's the pole, plug it in.
I don't really want to talk about the little 3DS. It makes me sad. So instead, we're gonna go on to our
no faceplates for you.
Oh right, I had to turn that up near the end there, make it more grandiose. All right, so. We're going to get a little bit of listener feedback as well, but as I'm looking up this information, Justin, why don't you give us some details on our giveaway?
Yeah, absolutely, Zach. So we are really excited that we are at our episode 10 for Nintendo Dads, and for that we want to give away a giveaway, or we have a giveaway for that, and it's actually we're giving away a $10 eShop gift card for Nintendo. Which we have just went through the last hour and 45 minutes of great things you can pick up on the eShop. Maybe it's going to be a Wii game. So we're going to have a contest. Look for it on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram channels for you to be able to enter in to win this contest. And we're going to have a winner by next week's episode that we're going to announce here live as well. If you're in America, the U.S., America, the U.S., nice Justin, Canada, the U.S., wherever, we're going to be able to get that code to you as well. So again, $10 eShop. There are lots of great games to pick up there. Hey Jesse, if you were to get a $10 eShop card, what would you spend your $10 on?
That's a good question. I like to get my retail games digitally, so I would probably use it to pay for a quarter of Majora's Mask.
You know what the correct answer is? Metroid Prime Trilogy when it's released.
And for me, it'd be my recommendation would be probably Mega Man 7.
Oh, hey, there you go.
There you go. So lots of great games, and again, as we mentioned, some Wii games as well. So look for it again. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the places that you can find us. Look for how you can enter our contest right away for that $10 eShop card. Yeah. Zach, speaking of kind of interactions and fans, and again, we love everyone who downloads the podcast, watches us on Twitch, interacts on Facebook, Twitter. Thank you so much for allowing us to continue this show, and your support is so welcome. Zach, what feedback do we actually have going on right now?
Yeah, so on our Facebook page this week, we asked what is our question of the week. What 2015 game are you most excited to play? And we had Wayne Hughes definitely say the new Zelda. And so I think that's a pretty common thing that people are excited about. And as well, today we also asked what were you most excited about the new, about the Nintendo Direct. And I believe we know who this person is. Where did the post come? Okay. Justin, I think somebody named Jody Masson replied saying Mario Party 10 trailer.
Yeah, that is my wonderful, beautiful, fantastic wife who loves Mario Party. So she's excited for that as well. I sent her the link today at work, and she sent back a message saying, "Sweet, when does that come out?" So she was excited for it.
Yeah, very awesome. So if you guys again get a hold of us via Facebook and Twitter and follow us, and we'll definitely be sending out more information and asking. I think we'll make that question of the week a common thing as well. So. Follow us over there, and we'll definitely be getting that information.
Yeah, and feel free to guys, if you have questions for us, like what are our opinions about games, or any questions about the podcast, or about us, or parenting, or just the world of our thoughts on Nintendo, feel free to again hit us up on Twitter at Nintendo Dads, like us on Facebook, Nintendo Dads, all one word, Instagram, Nintendo Dads, and you can even email us nintendodads@gmail.com as well. So we love our fans and our interactions, and leaving us reviews and comments on iTunes and Stitcher as well.
Absolutely, and do us a huge favor. We are on iTunes, and if you love the show and you want to help others find the show, or just help us in general, do us a huge favor and go and leave a 5-star rating on iTunes as well, or any kind of rating, or a 5-star rating. Definitely a 5-star rating. But absolutely, any sort of a review that you can leave helps us in getting new traction to the show, attracting new listeners, and helps us out with that. So, again, that if there's one thing you do this week, that is absolutely a huge thing that you could help to do to help us out. Wow, that was.
Speaking of helping us out, we need to give a big shout out, because I think Zach's getting tongue tied. A big help us out, and thanks to Carter Johnson, who provides our amazing artwork that you see on our album artwork on all of our social media assets, as well as our Stitcher and iTunes assets as well. She did a fantastic job. You can check her out at megacarter.tumblr.com. Follow her, like her, subscribe, reach out to her. She has amazing artwork as well.
Absolutely, and as always, everybody, thanks for listening. Be in touch, and again, we're going to be giving away $10 on that eShop, so be following us, and we'll give that away next week. Until then, see you later, everybody. Play more games. Bye-bye.
That lovely music.